Pudgy Wudgy Show, starring #1, Super Cat, Pudgy Wudgy. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Pudgy. Now, you can shut that off. Pudgy is 18 months old, and he was gotten at a Animal Rescue League. He weighs 17 pounds. Very talented.
Hi everybody. Welcome to this video. Now coming towards us is Pudgy Wudgy, the Wonder Cat. Owner and trainer Frank Furko of East Oakmont. On this tape you'll see many of the tricks that Pudgy Wudgy does.
We're rolling, right?
And anytime.
Okay, now, before we do this, we need to talk about 20 seconds in the beginning, because from Italy they need this, in order to cut it.
Okay.
We can talk now to each other. We're talking about him, we're almost there, another 10, 15 seconds, and then we'll be okay. Okay, she's taking the glass off.
Look what you doing.
It's great.
Sit down. Sit
Okay.
down. Sit down and rest. Sit down. Sit down. I hear you purring. I hear you purring. You sit down.
Sì, ciao a tutti, ciao, siete collegati al vivo con Pittsburgh, sono in compagnia di Frank Furko, ma la vera star dello show di oggi è Pudgy Wudgy, il gatto ufficialmente più elegante degli Stati Uniti. È apparso in una miriade di programmi televisivi negli Stati Uniti, questo è il primo show internazionale per lui, ma vediamo un po' perché è il gatto più elegante e come è nata questa storia. Ecco, Frank è quindi accanto a me, pronto a rispondere a tutte le vostre domande su questa bellissima storia tra un gatto e il suo padrone. First of all, Frank, can you tell us how did you guys exactly meet?
Look at his face, all water. See the water bubbles on his face? He's crazy. He does the craziest shit.
Pudgy Wudgy. Yeah, there's so many. Our names only have 5 letters in. There's Furko with 5. There's James with 5. There's Pudgy with 5. Wudgy's with 5. Frank's with 5. My mother's the only one. She has 4. Well, I talked to them. I said, well, fellas, everything's straightened out here. My mother's name was already on it. I got my dad's name put on it, and the Pudgy was only 3 months later. I had him put on. So I said, can you sculpt a cat in there? He says, yeah. So everybody thinks the cat's buried there, and he's not buried there yet. When I kick the bucket, then he'll go with me. I have 32 nicknames. I don't know why. I got 32 nicknames. Different people call me different names. I don't know why. I can name them all. I know them by heart. Frank, Francis, Frankie, Furko, Furkovich, Muscles. What the hell is the other one? I can't even remember. I know them. Pudgy Wudgy. I found out just what it meant there not too long ago. One called me Pepinuch. I'll take you down and show you where Pudgy lived half of his years. This is his museum. This is all the write-ups and stuff that.
Here comes Pudgy. Here comes Pudgy. There's Pudgy Wudgy. There goes Pudgy.
Man, oh man. What do you think about this, Pudgy? You're sleeping. Let's check you out. You see here. There he is. He's sound asleep. I hope that's taken. He's sleeping like a little log. You can care less. Just keep driving. Back on the road. This was going up to the ski resort. Now we got another mountain to go over. Well, he loved to ride. I'll tell you, if he didn't like to ride, I'd be in a hell of a shape because we did a lot of traveling. He'd just sleep. He's just sleeping away. I left, we hit a bump or something. He opened his eyes and looked at me like, what the hell are we hitting now? What do you think about it, Pudge? Hey, Pudge. There's Pudge. Pudgy's sleeping. He's asleep. As long as I was around, he was okay. But I wouldn't trust him with nobody else because he was a one-party animal. He just stuck with me all the time. I had him a year, and I knew he was pretty smart. That's when I got him a cupcake with a candle on it, and I got him a hat, one of these party hats, and put it on. And he left it on. He didn't shake it off. Boy, I said, that's unusual. Let's go. Come on, let's go. So then I just start putting, I put frame glasses on them and then this and that and then sunglasses and, because a cat usually doesn't want you to put anything on him. But boy, he didn't care what you put on.
You gotta get a little Bobby horse for me.
Ah! Got you again.
And here comes Pudgy Wudgy doing his shopping at Hancock Fabrics. I don't know, Pudge, you seeing anything you like?
Purple.
I think he needs a tuxedo out of those. That's a lighter weight one. Did you see that for the summer, Kyle?
Get them in the mirrors. This is the lady that made his clothes. She worked at a place where they sold the fabric.
Can you say moo?
Just one thing to the other. He was doing tricks.
Atta boy. I want you up over the stick. Come on. Atta boy. Atta boy. You want to sit up pretty? Sit up pretty. Good boy. Come on. You know what this is. Come on down underneath. Switch down under there. Atta boy. Here. Go! Strike! Pudgy made a strike. What do you think about President Clinton? Oh, I want you to hear a little more than that. What do you think about President Clinton? Oh, whoa, you almost fell off. Here, what do you think about Clinton? What do you think about Clinton? That a boy. No, oh, you cheated there now. You're going to have to do it over again. Come on over here. Come on over here. You turned around. Okay. No, 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 no. Right here. Come on. Atta boy. You all finished with taping now? This is the in case anybody doesn't know, this is not a perfect tape. This is just a tape we made. Just 1, 2, 3, huh, Pudgy? We don't practice. This is Pudgy Wudgy. He hopes he makes it on TV.
Hey, come on back here. This is what I want you to see. You see the signs on the door here? This was his room. This stuff wasn't on the bed at that time, but this is where he slept. I had a big blanket here, and he'd sleep, and he'd look in the mirror at himself. But during the night sometime, he wasn't satisfied to be by himself. He had to go over in my room. I'd never get away with that if I was married. I know that. They'd always be bitching, get the screen off the damn stuff off. So I learned to be the cook, the maid, anything come on, I have to be.
Do you like that?
Yeah. I eat what I want to eat. Nobody tells me to wash the dishes. I wash them when I want to. You want to see something funny? My wife, when I was married for 20 years, she was up in the Erie. She found this piece of wood. This looks like a dog. Well, I was married 20 years, and it was a good marriage, but all the trouble started in 1 year. Her mother died first. Oh, shit. Everything went kufui. And there was no kids involved, so it wasn't, it wasn't a hard thing about a divorce. Now, if there had been kids, that would have been a different story, but there was no kids in there, and there was no mothers. Both mothers were dead. My mother was dead, and my mother died. I was only 30 years old. She died. My dad lived to be 94. My mother only lived to 53. So you don't know where the hell you're going to go. I don't know where I'm going to go, if I'm going to go that high or not. But on his side of the family, every one of them went over 90 years old. What do we have here? Oh, the hillside where the bulldozers were. There's my mom's grave. And usually, when the mother dies in the family, everything goes to pots. And I just say to myself, look how much she's missed. The things that we were doing, passing away at 53. That's a sweater and skirt I got my mother in Paris, and the radio came from Germany. And my mom around the store. My mother at the grave, somebody's grave. Donnie, me, my mom and dad. My mother on hammock, poor Donnie digging a ditch. Roses I bought her. That's Donnie's wife, Bonnie and I, and my dad and mom. So the three women in front are not here anymore. She's divorced with them. I'm divorced with Bonnie, and my mom died, so 3 for 0. That's when I got married. I got married the same week that Kennedy got killed. There was 500 people at the wedding. My brother and I, either one of us would have never got married. I was 30 and he was 24. My mother kept bitching, when are you going to get married? When are you going to get married? So we both get married in 1 year. He got married the 4th of July. I got married Thanksgiving. I wasn't married 13 months. She died. Just like she knew she was going to die, and she wanted us both married. And he only lasted 6 years, and he had 2 kids with her. And his other wife, they had 3 kids. So I was married 20 years, and we didn't have any kids. I didn't want any, because my dad was, he was very hard, and I didn't want him telling my kids what to do. And that's what he would do. His father was the same, and he was the same. And I could not see that. Forcing somebody to do stuff that they didn't want to do. He didn't. He was raised. He was the oldest boy, and there was like 9 kids in the family, and his thing was to go out and work, help pay for the family. The kids didn't do nothing. The other kids. Of course, my dad had no hobbies, and it was a shame. He's 94 years old. He didn't go anyplace. His thing was work. That's all. He lived to work. My dad came up the hard way, and I came up the same way. My brother did too, because my dad was strict. He'd just look at you. He didn't have to say anything. He'd just look at you, and you knew by that look, you're in trouble. You better shut up. And like I said, he taught me a lot by the way he was. We used to farm all this area here. I was either 2 or 3 years old. We moved up here. I've been here ever since. You see this? That's wild garlic. They sprayed all this, and it killed all the weeds, but it won't kill. There's garlic. Little garlic will be on the bottom. See, there's about 4 or 5 spots down there. That's wild garlic there. I really can't believe that my dad and I could do all the work here and then have the store down there. this had to be done on Sundays and evenings. Of course, I did some stuff in the daytime. I would leave the store and come up here and do something. When I went to the service, it was like a vacation to me. The other guys were saying, "You got to be kidding me." I said, "Yeah, you go back home where and see what my dad would want you to do." Oh, Father's drinking coffee again. Oh, he has a straw too. Woo-hoo. And then there's Pudgy. Sorry about that. Pudgy had to come up and see what was going on. That's my famous cat, Pudgy Wudgy. You know, he's got to be nosy. He has to see what we're doing here. He can't understand I'm doing all this talking, and he had to jump up on the table. Pudgy. Pudgy, will you please get off the table? You gotta be the nosiest cat. Get that off of there. This cat, that little eruption. That was Pudgy Wudgy. Had to come up and investigate what I'm doing. You better get in your bed. Look at the house. You can hardly see it. The hedges are not there anymore now. That's the only cat crossing sign in the United States. I got a lot of people stop here to take a picture of it.
So did you paint this sign, Frank?
Yeah. A lot of people said, "Who the hell painted that?" I said, "Some little girl." I said, "It draws attention." They said, there was one guy, two guys took pictures of it at nighttime, and they said, "It's the ugliest cat we've ever seen." I said, "You noticed it, didn't you?" I went to get my driver's license, picture taken for the driver's license, and it was over at the library, and there was a bunch of little kids over there. So I said, "Who's in charge here?" And the girl said who it was. I said, "I have a trained cat. Do you think they'd like me to put a show on for them?" Morning, how are you today? Yeah. So I put a show on, and they asked me to come back the second time. And when I came back the second time, they had the newspaper people there. And that's how it all started. Once he got in the newspaper, people saw it.
It's showtime at Martin Elementary School, presenting Pudgy Wudgy, the Wonder Cat, and his faithful servant, Frank Furko.
Pudge, over here. Come on through. No, you're cheating. You cheated. No, no, no.
I can't believe he could teach him that stuff.
The 3-year-old performer undergoes a rigorous training schedule at the Furko farm in East Oakmont, 5 minutes a day, rain or shine.
He's not hard to train. He's well behaved. He likes people. He's probably one out of maybe 10,000 cats if you're going to find a cat that's going to do the things he does.
Comparing him to other cats would like comparing us to cavemen.
Lock it out. Lock it out. Lock it out. Lock it out.
Taking a bow with Pudgy Wudgy after another perfect show in KD country.
These are all pictures of him when, when I went to schools, and the teacher would tell them to write a thank you note or something, and they'd draw a picture of the kids. These kids are about in 1st and 2nd grade. Now they're about 27, 28 years old. I run into them. They say, "You're the guy that had that cat at school." I said, "Yep, that was me." There was so damn many. It's just picture after picture and writings, It's unbelievable how many kids went to the schools. Whoops. I said some people can go up on the stage and some people can't. I was only 7 years old. I played the accordion. And I always wanted to be in one of those bands and travel, with a traveling band, a big band thing. And, I was very fortunate to come up with the big band music and with the polka music. I was on the USS Randall. I got on the ship and they asked for entertainment. And I had accordion, and I played the accordion over there in Germany, and they liked polka music. And like when I was on the ship and we had a band set up and I started to play polkas, and it just started a little bit, and these fellows, they were going nuts. Because I imagine there was a lot of Slovenian and Polish people and that's what they wanted to hear. I'd have been probably about 13. We had to play for assembly at the high school, and the day before I was supposed to play, this kid was riding on a tractor, and he went down this hill, and he was riding on the axle, or somebody else was driving, and the other person put the brakes on, and he lost his balance, and he fell and killed. And I had to play for assembly that morning. You couldn't hear a pin drop. I played Harbor Lights. I knew, I can remember it was like today. And, I've been put in positions where, you know how to do a certain thing, and you got a tightness until you play it. No matter how many times you play, I don't care when you go up in front of this thing, you got a tension, just like a ball player. He's batting up with the bases loaded. You have a certain amount of tension, and I did myself until I would play 1 or 2 songs, and then I would be in with it. This guy that had a band, polka band, and he traveled out of the country, like Yugoslavia and that. And he asked me if I'd be interested in playing second accordion. And I couldn't do it kind of the farm. It wouldn't have been for the farm, I did it right away. Well, they liked him because he was good with everybody. He was on he'd be on the stage all the time, and they saw that he was very talented. I mean, he would do what I wanted him to do when they wanted. We go on TV in Pittsburgh, and it's live. You don't have time. You don't have to say, "Hey, you do over again." We had to do it right then.
What you saw is Pudgy Wudgy, and Frank Furko, the owner of Pudgy Wudgy, are here with us this morning.
We're going to see an amazing array of Pudgy tricks in the next half hour.
Pudgy's just thrilled, too, as you can tell.
What else could he do, Frank?
All right, now we're going to go underneath there. Go ahead, Pudgy.
All right, Pudge.
Come on, boy.
Okay.
Yeah, he likes to get dressed up with all kind of different.
Oh, that is beautiful.
There he
Look at
is.
this. Kiss me. I'm Slovenian. All right. Frank, thank you so much.
You know, I was never afraid to be on television, this and that, interviewing me, this and that. It feels good.
Good luck. Pudgy Wudgy and Frank Furko, our special pets today. And Carol, thanks for bringing them in.
Give it up for this man. Have you been to the bar yet?
Yep.
Has been to the bar?
Yep. He was there first.
Sorry?
The cat was there first.
Pudgy was at the cat. I'm gonna buy this man a drink. Any man that has audacity to bring a Pudgy cat out here is not drunk deserves a drink. Step for Pudgy Wudgy. Pudgy, you got any comment?
There was no place that we went in that everything stopped. I mean, to see a cat coming in with sunglasses, a hat, and all that crap on him, you expect it from a dog, but you don't expect it from a cat. And the girls, I laugh at the girls. Girls, you know, the girls are attracted to the cats, and they'd be there. Oh, what a pretty cat! What is that? And their boyfriends or who the hell they're shaking their head, you know. And we always did the Hooter Girls. This is in Milwaukee. This is Pittsburgh. This is Green Bay. This the girl was on that Cleveland show. This is this girl here. She worked for Walt Disney. This is up in Milwaukee. This is in Ohio. This is up at the bride shop. This would be 63. This is 63, and this is, I don't know. Well, it'd be before, about 1999. Well, it was my ex-wife, and this is her crown, and that's the crown there. She left it, and I had a new veil put on it for him. And yeah, that was her crown. She wore it one day, and he wore it 14 years. I really believe that this cat here realized that I saved his life, and he wanted to make it as easy or happy with me that I really believe that we were blessed because of the way he acted. This was the blessing. All right, we're gonna put your other glasses on. Now you look like me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I know you don't want to look like me. We're gonna put your hat on like that. You really look like it.
You're a trip.
Yeah, you're a real trip now.
Oh dear, Pudgy. Yeah, you look just like your daddy.
Oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
except your hair is
He says, I want to look like my
Yeah,
dad.
taking it off.
Look at that face. Look at that face. What'd you find there, Pudge? Huh? Hey, cowboy. Yippee-tie, yay, yippee-tie-yo.
You gotta get a horse to get
I'm
him
an
on,
old
Frank. What do you
cowboy
think there?
from the Rio Grande. Everybody, you know, leads their own life. I lead mine, and that's probably why I never got married again. Can you imagine my wife being here and all this stuff laying around? It'd be fireworks. And when the cat was alive, there'd really be fireworks because I give all the attention to him. I gave him all the attention. You know what they wanted to do here? They wanted me to put a new scoreboard up for them. And they wanted to call it the Pudgy Wudgy Field. Or, you know, Pudgy Wudgy amusement or something. That's what they wanted to do. And I said that scoreboard costs too much money. I can't afford that. I said if somebody else would go in with me, but to try to do it yourself.
The entry fees are $85 and includes golf, with card, light breakfast, Here come the Mustangs!
Did you ever have shingles?
Pardon me?
Did you ever have shingles?
No.
Well, I never have them, some of the bitches. I did the Woodland Hills game here, went home, felt a little bit of rash on my shoulder.
I heard they're terrible. Some of my friends
Oh,
have.
gee.
Terrible.
Look at my face. Oh, and my shoulder, my neck. Overnight. Then I went down to the hospital.
How long ago was it?
3 weeks ago to tonight.
Wow.
I went down to the hospital in the emergency room. They diagnosed it as something else, skin rash. They give me some other goddamn shit. I go home, it's on the weekend. I was so goddamn sick. Monday morning at 4 o'clock, I was shivering. I didn't know what the hell was going on. So we finally went down to my regular doctor, and he said, you got shingles. I was like, holy shit.
Wow.
Remember on the side of my face? That's what it turned into.
Serious?
Yes. It was shingles.
Oh.
It was on my shoulder and my neck.
Actually an improvement, Frank. Yeah, that's an improvement.
Yeah, for Halloween.
With your... Oh.
He's been around the Mustang program for as long as we could remember. In fact, I believe he's in his over 50th year in and around the Mustang program. Well, that gentleman is right here this evening. It's the man himself, and his name is Frank Furko. And Frank, I believe, graduated from Plum in 1952, and he's been around this program since the 40s. So what does that tell you? He's been watching Mustang football when he was in grade school. And one thing about Frank, I must tell you, I'm going to call him perhaps the most active fan in Plum Mustang football history.
and my brother and I weren't allowed to play sports. Period. First, we had work to do here. That was number one. And you were tied down here most of the time, and we had the store down at the bottom of the hill. And my time was taken up pretty much then, and I think it was a good thing because the kids that are my age now, they got trouble with their knees. Your knees and stuff were not built for playing football. I mean, your body wasn't made for that.
We get down the other end, we don't need it. It's 1st and 10 on the 15 going in. 1st and 10 on the 15 going in down there. Okay, let's roll.
There's our boy right here. It says here the Terrible Meow, photo and Steeler outfit, 1995. Steeler fans come in all shapes, sizes, and species. Pudgy Wudgy never failed to cheer his favorite team, the Steelers. Owner Frank Furko often dressed Pudgy in his Steeler outfit shown here and took him tailgating. Photo and outfit gift of Frank Furko.
The Steeler cat, Pudgy Wudgy. He's famous. He's an 11-year-old cat, comes to all the Steeler games, and he's a big Steeler fan. How do I know he's a big Steeler fan? Take a look at this outfit. Look at my man, Pudgy Wudgy. Digging the Steeler helmet he's got on. He's got the Steeler scarf, the Steeler sweater. He is beautiful. Frank Furko is his, I guess let's call him his best friend from Oakmont, and Pudgy Wudgy will be cheering on the Steelers today. And the key cheer to him, of course, is meow. All right, let's go back to you.
One of the more unique football fans you'll ever see in your entire career right there.
Come on down here where you're walking. All right, Pudgy used to be down at the Steeler games, dressed up with his outfit. There's his outfit. And he was down there for quite a few years. And he put on shows, not for the Steelers, but we'd go out in the public to schools and put on all kinds of shows, okay? And is there anything else you'd like to know about him? He weighed 23 pounds. He was 14 years old.
What was his name?
Pudgy Wudgy. Yeah. That's this picture here. Open it up. They had him, they called me and they came up here to put him in here. But that's him there. It tells all about him. And where are you from?
Moon.
Moon Township?
Yeah.
Both Moon. Okay, thanks, boys.
Thank you.
Here, picture of me with them light glaring in my glasses. They're glaring in my glasses.
Men and women who become local celebrities because of their pets. Frank is the proud owner of Pudgy Wudgy. Pudgy Wudgy does all kinds of things, like Pudgy Wudgy snowmobiles.
Yep.
Pudgy Wudgy plays golf.
Right.
Why did we name him Pudgy Wudgy?
When I got him out of the Animal Rescue League, I held him in my hand like this, and he was a little kind of fat. And I said, well, I'll call you Pudgy, and I put the Wudgy on later.
That's how he got to be Pudgy Wudgy.
That's
Do
Pudgy
we have some
Wudgy.
tape of him?
Yes, I do.
Okay, let's take a look at some tape and see what Pudgy Wudgy does. Here he is with a tractor.
He's riding on a tractor.
Very good, Frank.
He rides on anything.
I see. Do you have a tractor at home? Is that what you do?
We have a farm. We have a 35-acre farm.
Right. And what did you do? Put him on a snowmobile?
He rides with me.
It sounds like you have a real close relationship with him.
Yes. You want to show them what a line does? Huh? Take it out. Show them what a line does. That's a boy. He's just showing you what a line does.
Okay.
He's not mad.
All right. Now, as the guests come out, we're going to applaud for the pet that you think should win, all right? We'll do it by applause. Let's see the contestants. First of all, remember Holly the baboon? Holly, come on out. Here is Patty Cake in her favorite evening attire. Patty Cake, yes. Here's Frank with Pudgy Wudgy and his... And last but not least, Kurt and Jimmy. Here's Jimmy. And the winner is Pudgy Wudgy. There you go, Frank. Take that back to Pittsburgh with you. Not only the flowers, but the grand prize is a $100 gift certificate to Pudgy Wudgy's favorite pet store, okay?
Thank you very much.
Very good, thank you. And I want to thank all of you for joining us today. We'll be right
I had people that were very ignorant, you know, especially men. We'd be on TV and they say, you and that cat on television again. I said, instead of saying to me, that's nice that you go to nursing homes and spend your time going to nursing homes. I had the lady call me from Milwaukee. When I was up there, this lady approached me about going to a nursing home. Her brother was there. I said, yeah, I'll make a point to get over. So I went over, and I saw her brother in that. And about 3 days later, when we got back home, this same lady called up. She says, I know what kind of guy you are. I said, oh man, what did I do wrong now? She said, you not only went to my brother's room, you went to every room in that nursing home. I said, well, I was there. I said, what was the big deal? I said, to go to every room. If you can make somebody smile, go ahead and do it. I got something to show you. Wait a minute. I'm not trying to brag that I get cards, but this is from a lady. She says, hope your day was special. Your mother would be proud of you. You're a fine person. Signed by the person that signed it. So glad to be your friend. Hope you are doing better and keep doing what you do, for it is what you are. You are one in a million. I am so glad we are friends. There's another one that says here, Frank, I saw this card and instantly thought of you, for you are a true friend. Enjoy our talks more than you ever will know. I just keep positive attitude and all will be good. Have a wonderful day and keep a happy thought. So I could just read how many cards that I've gotten from people that it's not even funny. Good thing I know where everything's at, because nobody else will know.
Old grocery store just across the Holton Bridge in Oakmont is a throwback to an earlier time.
And so is the owner, but after 70 years on the job, he has no intention of quitting. Dave Crowley visits Hunter Brothers Grocery in tonight's Hometown Faces and Places.
On a busy corner in Oakmont stands a little shop whose busy days have long since passed. The Hunter Brothers Grocery is 109 years old, and Jim Furko has worked here 70 of those years. The place hasn't changed a whole lot, and neither has he.
Well, I come in at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I go home at 6. Sometimes we sell a little stuff, sometimes we don't. Don't bother me.
This old plow on the shelf is a reminder of the farm his father owned just up the hill. The shelves of Hunter's Grocery reflect the staples of his life.
Whoa, there you are. Get your hat on straight.
Jim's son Frank drops in from time to time with his stylishly attired cat. Pudgy Wudgy's outfits have gained him a measure of feline fame from coast to coast. But here, well, he's just one of the guys.
This is my brother Don, and this is myself when we were in high school. We worked with my dad.
It took 5 people to run this store back then.
It's surprising how many children have come in here over the years, and they come back and they're 40, 50, 60 years old, and they'll say, I used to come in that store when I was a kid.
Jim Furko is 92 years old, and he still spends Sundays looking forward to going back to work on Monday.
I've been here for 70 years, and it's like home. I ain't making no money, but I'm having a good time losing it.
Watching the world go by, 70 years and counting, I'm Dave Crowley.
I was talking to my aunt down in Florida. She was 96 years old, and she said she saw a picture with my dad and the cat eating. I said, yeah, they used to eat all the time together. I said, here, when he had the funnel on his head, he was, my dad was, laying in bed. He was laying down there. That was his buddy when I wasn't here. He would tell other people how good I was with him, my dad, but he would never tell me. He would tell people how good the cat was. He said, cat is smart. He wouldn't tell me, though. It wasn't until about 2 months before he passed away. He was sitting right there. And I walked in this room, and he said, what's the matter? I said, I'm tied down here too much. You can't go no place. He said, you can go to the game. I said, yeah, I'll go to the game, and you'll fall down and break your hip, and then the people will say, oh, the game was more important than your dad. That's the way they talk, you know. Hello. Hello? Who's this? No. Oh, that's all right. You can dial it again if you want to. All right. See, the lady called. Is this Jeff? And I said, no. She said, I must have called the wrong number. I said, that's all right. You can call anytime. I'm funny. My dad used to always, so I said, my dad, he said, you can go. I said, that was the only time. He said, you're a good son. Man, I almost had a heart attack. He said, you had a good son. But he was the type of a guy, he would not tell you did something right. But I'd have other people that always would say something, you know, and they'd say to me, I said, yeah, but I want to hear him say that I did it. I mean, come on, I was on national TV. I try to do everything, the best things I could do. And, hey, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I try to help people and try to do this and that. And I should have let you listen to that. I'll let that phone ring. You never heard my phone ring up here. You listen to this now. All right. It's gonna ring. It's gonna ring 5 times. Now listen to what happens. Here it comes. That's his ashes, yeah. Here. I didn't feel that. I didn't want to bury him in the ground. I wanted to. I figured I wouldn't be around, and to dig him up, and this way he goes with me, and so I feel satisfied that way. He had cancer. And he went from 23 pounds down to 9 pounds. And I wasn't taking any chances. I didn't want him to suffer. So I just took him up there and we put him to sleep. And I said, that's one way to do it. You can see he was in 4 newspapers when he passed away. He's on front pages of the papers. Pudgy Wudgy's Valley's famous dressed best cat dies. I mean, it was in all the students. He even had it in a death notice. I said, boy, there's so many people know him. And people came here when he passed away. They started coming at 12 o'clock noon, and at 9 o'clock at night was the last fellow that came. He's in a casket here. He had an American flag and a hat. This is all the mail he got when he died. All these cards. And I'd go down to the post office every morning, and there would be 2 or 3 cards in there. And I said, it's unbelievable how many people were so kind. And I get down to the post office and then go and get the thing and go in the truck and open them up, and I could feel tears coming all the time. But I should have figured on that they're not going to outlive you. So I have to figure on the good things and the bad things, and this was a good thing. 14 years of taking this cat around, and I look at him there. I said, oh, geez. If I had him I like to have him back for a week. But that stuff doesn't happen that way. And look at that cat. I mean, just look. He was a winner. Pudgy Wudgy. I really believe if I'd have taken all his stuff out and packed it in boxes, I probably would have got another cat. I have a feeling he's in the house and he's just hiding someplace. That's why I left all the stuff at the house. I think he's still around yet, so. You gotta be kidding me. Look what we got here. What was the odds of having an orange one? What's the matter? I think you're a female. Yes, you got a white tag on you, I don't know. What are you doing in there? All your friends are gone. Somebody took all your... I get one of them girls, you get it out. Let me look at this little kitten here.
The one on the bottom there?
Yep, that's the only ones left there.
Yeah, there's somebody cage over there.
Oh, up there.
That's a female.
I told them guys that's what it is, a female. Look at that. Look at that. That was about the size of Pudgy when I got him. I'm the one that owned Pudgy Wudgy. You know Pudgy Wudgy?
I've heard that name before, yeah.
Yeah, on the turnpike there's a great big picture of him. Yeah. What? Meow, meow, what? Was there more in this one?
There was. We try and keep them separate by litters.
Oh.
So you got some adopted cats in there, some rescue kitties, and then some other kitties on the end.
Open it up. That's what you've probably seen.
Yeah.
On the turnpike. Turn it. There he is there. He had 200 outfits.
Wow.
And
you're famous now.
The cat was famous.
The cat was famous.
There was no place I went with him. Everything stopped. Everything, even somebody who didn't like a cat liked him with sunglasses on, shit. He wasn't afraid to go no place. He walked in New York City. We went to David Letterman and Maury Povich, and he's walking on a leash. Oh, he's 23 pounds. He didn't give a damn about who the hell was there. He just walking on the streets at noise. He didn't give a shit. He didn't give a shit. He was one out of a million. Yep. The veterinarian in West Virginia. In West Virginia, the vet had two vets, one in West Virginia, one in Pittsburgh. And he said how many animals he had. He said he was by
Frank Furko, a tutti quanti noi che stiamo registrando il primo show televisivo internazionale con Pudgy Wudgy. Da Pittsburgh è tutto e ci vediamo la prossima volta. Ciao a tutti. Frank, thanks a lot for your time for the camera. It was great. You didn't move at all. Ciao. Is he expecting something now? Of course.
Oh yeah, he has to have something. Oh yeah, what do you think?
All right. And that's it. This is a perfect framing. Look, Frank. All right. If it says like this, is this what we need?
Want to see a little more of the crown?
And the crown, yeah, the crown is definitely.
Buzz, here.
Want to open up a
The
little?
crown? Okay, let's see. So this is great. This is a great outfit. Excellent. We got this. This is a great shot.
You okay? Dropping his feet a little bit there?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
He
got the-
winked at you there.
Yeah, because we needed the 4 or 5 seconds all the time, so we're gonna cut it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Okay, one is done.
That one's done.
Next. Well, because
Camera does roll.
What we need is just excellent. We just need to see if we had the 2 or 3 or 4 seconds like this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This is great. Okay, we got this too. All right.
Cowboy hat or golf? Cowboy.
Cowboy.
Yeah. A little taste of Americana.
Somebody sent that. Somebody sent that from Dallas, Texas. A lady was here, and she sent that from Dallas, Texas.
1, 2, rolling. All right, we got it now. He stays. Look at him. He knows that we're.
What is that camera? Look at the camera in there. Look at the camera. Look at the camera.
Okay, we got that too. Excellent. Excellent.
Oh boy, what a picnic you are. You're just a pleasure to work with. You know that.